Remember, they said you tap twice on the shoulder.
Are you all right?
Are you okay?
Are you okay? Check for other hazards.
May I please have permission to help you?
How many shoes have you been stolen by hyenas?
I've lost at least 7 pairs.
Yeah,
More
yeah,
than
well,
I've lost
one
so many.
flip-flop,
Always
God.
one flip flop. Sometimes you find it months later. Guys, I
Yeah,
found a
yeah,
shoe.
that- Ooh, tick bite fever is terrible. Ooh, that's when I properly discovered what loss of breath is. No. Well, welcome, boys and girls, to another episode of Wildly Off Track.
I'm Greg.
I'm Tristan.
I'm Rea.
We're back for another round.
Yeah.
So you went running.
I did.
Again.
No, I didn't have a choice. My girlfriend wants to go running.
Oh, yeah.
I also probably should look after my physical health a little bit better.
But when we were out in the field, in the trucks, filming in the Delta, there was moments where you realized, like, I really need to take care of myself. I mean, even you were lifting weights at some point. I remember you lifting weights.
Yeah,
fairly often.
I'd get into it at the beginning of every year. Every year, like, I'd be like, no, this is the year I'm gonna get fit. And there'd be like 2-3 months at the beginning of the year. I'd be like, yep, I'm in, and I get decent, regime going. And then we would start doing a shoot or something, and it would just go all down
Downhill,
the drain.
yeah.
Well,
No
after
energy.
it's tired
But you'd still
nights.
have your dumbbells sitting on the front of the car just to pretend as if you were.
Yeah, they ended up becoming very useful. They helped keep everything in the center column.
Using the dumbbells as like paper weights
Yeah, pretty
Purple
much.
dumbbells.
Yeah, purple
Sticking
dumbbells.
out in the middle of the Delta, yeah.
Yeah, no, it got,
God.
best intentions. I mean, you two know the drill. Like, you want to stay fit and stay active, but then you're working 12, 14-hour days sometimes.
Yeah.
And then you're just crushed for weeks and weeks on end.
Yeah.
Like, there's a certain point where your body, I just go, I'm done. I'm just going to survive.
Some of us maintained. You maintained a fair amount. Eh?
I mean, especially because sitting in a seat the whole day gets not just physically draining, but mentally, you're like, what am I turning into? Just a slob. You never move.
Yeah.
And I started that, which I got from you, that just stand up, get the blood flowing. Well, when I say stand up, in our vehicles, we can just stand on the side rail. So that would be just standing on the side rails, stretch, do a little, get the blood flowing around your body, yeah.
Do you remember when we did exercise of the day?
Your
It
exercise.
didn't last very
I
long, but we
forgot
used to
about
do
that.
exercise of the day. That was wild. What was the best one? We did squats one day.
Squats.
And
We went to a competition with Sam about squats. Yeah.
one of our colleagues.
And he's a fitness freak.
He's amazing.
Yeah, does a lot of CrossFit, and he does pretty much every day, maybe 2 times a day. He's doing some sitting on a bike or doing like weighted pull-ups and crap.
Definitely motivated us a bit.
Yeah, and we did fitness of the day, which was to help us kind of stay
Motivate
active,
us,
and we chose one exercise that day, and the principle was whoever does the most wins, whoever does the least,
most reps.
is the loser, and over a period of time there's a fine or there's a carrot or a stick approach basically.
I think you cheated a lot because you won a few, but I think it was just
I have motivation
honestly,
though.
Competition motivates.
Competition motivates me, but that's why. But the thing was,
Oddly strong though.
it motivated me. But the problem was the first time we tried it, the loser essentially had to clean out the kit room, which was there's a lot of dust and dirt out there. It's not a job you want to do. Anyways, Greg lost. Did he clean the kit room?
I don't remember this one.
Well, I guess you didn't then.
Oh gosh, it was good fun. But you had a whole set of weights in your car. So did I.
Yeah.
My favorite thing was the yoga mat in the back of the car.
You loved your yoga
I could love a good stretch.
So I didn't have my yoga mat in the back of the car because I turned the back of my vehicle into a couch. I had a bedroll there, and so if I wanted to lie down, I would just sit there and use the bedroll as my backrest.
Yeah, fair.
We all
You could
outfitted
stretch on the roof though. The flat roof was perfect.
Flat
for that.
roofs were good.
Yeah.
We all outfitted our cars very like yours was very gym centric. I'd say.
Yeah, it was great.
Yours
I
was
loved it.
health centric. Mine, I think me and you were more similar. We had comfortability.
Comfortability in the vehicle. The one thing I did try didn't work out. I tried with my skipping rope. I really enjoy skipping, and I used to find a flat area, but the sand. The
I
dust.
tried the same thing.
Then I tried a canvas. I put a canvas on the floor. Just still didn't work.
Really didn't work.
Nah.
Yeah.
But what I saw now actually in a video, I thought, man, if I only had, well, you can't buy it in Moan anyway, but they put these rubber mats, like it's like a Lego mat or something like that. If we had those, then we'd be able to gym in the to skip outside.
Yeah. You should try and look for some of those in the UK.
I've seen you run into some pretty wild encounters while trying to do a little bit of a gym session as well.
Yeah, you told the story about when there was a male lion that was just cruising around
Yeah,
while you
the
were
male
doing
lion.
push-ups. I remember you were talking about that. Yeah.
I drove up to Rea at some point during the day, and he was sitting with some male lions, and he was lying on the floor doing like bench press on the floor, and you can't see anything. And I get there and I'm talking to Rea a bit, and he's obviously trying to give the lions space and whatever. How far away are they? No, it's like 50, 100 meters away. They're under that tree. I was like, okay, cool. What about the male lion sitting 20 meters away from you, staring at you doing this? Oh, yeah. Maybe you should stop doing this now.
Gosh.
No, it had properly stalked me because I left the lion there. I guess the sounds on the ground, on the ground, the grass.
You're not going to know. I had a funny one with some of the staff from the camp. I don't know if you guys know about this, but I like to do pull-ups from a tree. So I'd throw a strap over the branch of a dead tree and then put my barbell there and then just do some pull-ups. Good for stretching out the back and stuff. Anyway, I was doing it on a dead tree around by Kudu Corner down near camp there. And some of the staff had gone out to go and view one of the lions with one of the other guys. And they came around the corner. And because of the angle that they saw me at, all they saw were my two legs hanging. The extra stress. Yeah, bro, they came around the corner like, oh my gosh, Greg, we thought you were dead. Because they just saw my legs dangling from where they'd come around.
Yeah,
like, sorry, guys.
Oh, Lord, that would be so funny.
Bad, eh? But no, we tried. We did a lot of cool stuff.
The one exercise that I'm sure we all did, and this one I know for a fact, no one can deny it, would take jogs in the bush.
Yeah.
But of course, in a safe manner, we park our vehicle and then just go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth.
Again, I think also the thing I found really difficult with doing exercise in the bush, like I enjoyed the jogging because you'd find like an open riverbed or a crossing or something where it's
the
just
sand was perfect.
in the sand and it's like super open. But the only time of day where you have any free time to do this is the middle of the fucking day.
It's hot.
Yeah.
Oh, and it's like it's winter, it's not too bad, 20, 30 degrees probably during the middle of the day. Sand gets pretty hot. Summer, 40, 45 degrees every day.
That's a problem.
Yeah. Yeah.
I used to sometimes park. This is why for you following leopards it was really hard, but for me following lions it was a little bit easier because you just park the vehicle so that you're on the opposite side to where the lions were, and you can kind of do something. But I can imagine for like leopards you can't really.
That was I think the biggest problem. Is I was really good with shoots. I was always following leopards. When I wasn't doing shoots, I'd follow lions, and you could have a rest and you could do exercise and stuff.
Yeah.
Leopards is just it's impossible.
You can't not watch them 24/7.
Cheetahs were quite similar as well. When you had cheetahs,
Cheetahs were always fidgety, always moving around. Yeah, you could never just relax.
Basically our lives were dictated by the cats for years. What the cats did, we lived like them. We followed.
Did you ever use the camp gym? Because we had a gym, a pretty good, decent. I mean, it was a pretty rustic gym. How funny were the weights? Do you remember the guys with the buckets and the concrete buckets, like molded onto a bar to make a barbell?
we were never really in camp.
No, never in camp. And then the times when you're in camp, just way too tired to be able to use it.
Camp was rest time.
It was sad. We had a whole badminton thing set up for a while.
We used to play.
We never had time to. Yeah.
When we were way back in the day, we used to play a bit of badminton.
Yeah, badminton was fun.
Yeah.
I heard you guys used to try and keep fit because you were competing with the bush pilots in Mount for girls.
Oh,
yes, that is fairly accurate. So
helicopter pilots.
This is a major problem for us. It's not a problem anymore, but it used to be a major headache. Because we were in the field for so long, we were it was very hard for us to maintain any relations with folks in Mount, particularly folks of the opposite sex. So
I don't even know why this was a competition. We never got girls anyways.
We didn't get girls.
We couldn't even speak to them.
It was sad times. But the biggest problem for us as well is whenever there were young single women available in Man, because it was a small town, it was like first, if you were there and it was a win, but we were never there. And the guys who always used to catch the girls were the damn helicopter pilots.
It's because they would be flying them in and out everywhere.
Yeah, and they were
flying them
always
into the lodges.
really good looking, like guys from New Zealand. Also, New Zealand, Australia, like a weird group of people.
Yeah, versus us
exotic.
people who just smelt bad, looked disgusting.
And the funny thing is, it's like, we're filmed for nature documentaries. Nope, no one cared.
It didn't make a difference.
No one cared.
Helicopter pilots, man. There's just
Helicopter
something
pilots,
about that
the
adrenaline
messiahs,
junkie vibe that the ladies of mine got really excited about.
Yeah,
but then that did motivate us to exercise because we were super single. Sadly.
Yeah, I mean, even guides got more. It's like, that guide. Then like, we do the same thing, but just behind the scenes.
Better.
Yeah, we follow these animals for years on end.
It didn't really have the effect.
I think it was also the lack of social interaction that was mostly the the key point.
forgot how to talk to
you know, we say these things. If we went to town, we'd only hang out with each other half the time. If we went to the bar, it was all of us sitting talking to each other. We wouldn't approach anybody else to talk to them.
Oh, we were terrified.
You were probably the best.
The problem is also would have less than a week off every month, and that off is majority spent just sleeping in bed.
Yeah, chilling.
Yeah, chilling, completely tired.
Or life admin.
Yeah, or
you just drove around doing life admin the whole day.
That's true. We never really had any opportunity to do anything other than that.
Yeah. That was a different. I mean, social life was just very different, really.
Now, the funniest was when a young lady would end up coming to the camp. You could check. Oaks got excited, eh?
Yeah.
I always found
very rarely did it work well for any of us.
the worst when that happened. It was, you know, it got exciting. It was anyone. It was just anybody new was like, oh
Yeah.
But you know those like 3-month wonders we'd have. We'd often have
like volunteers.
Yeah, 3-month people that come in for 3 months, volunteer for a little bit. Those oaks pissed me off
looking
the
for
most.
a job, they were.
Yeah. But so many of them, they didn't care about the job. When a woman came in, interesting.
Yeah, but it was very few and far between.
Yeah, we lost out to those guys a lot.
We just lost out a lot. We won in the end. Yeah.
We've all got girlfriends now. You're married.
I'm married.
Yeah. It's somehow worked out.
Yeah.
So far.
Long distance might have actually helped us. They didn't have to interact with us as much.
Yeah. Because now long distance, because now both of you guys we've all done long distance for long periods of time. Fortunately for me, that's changed. But how are you finding it? Like maintaining a relationship from a distance?
Difficult.
Well, I mean,
I find it difficult. Yeah. I mean, I know it's not fun. Like, and it's, you know, long distance for us is different to a lot of people. I find because we don't have access to Wi-Fi. You know, you're out in the bush for long periods of time. You can't communicate. You know, when we come into camp, maybe once every 2-3 days, you then sit there, have a phone call, reply to a load of WhatsApp messages, and then a couple of hours you're back out again. So it's, I don't even really understand how we've managed to retain relationships.
Amazing woman with a lot of patience.
Very, very patient women. Yeah.
Amazing.
Or maybe we're just that cool, you know. That's what I tell myself. No.
We're just that good. We're worth waiting for.
No, but it's also, I find it's helped. You pick the right people and you're in relationships for the right reasons. You know, you're in a relationship because you care about them and because they care about you, rather than it just being, you know, it's comfortable and it's, you know, it's easy. It's not easy. You have to want to be in that relationship.
Yeah. And I think it was easier for us because we were out in the field with
we didn't have any fucking
very few other our options. I don't want to sound rude about this,
just each other.
But it wasn't like we were tempted to stray out of our relationship because that option was just never there. But I feel for like our significant others who were here in the UK, where you can meet, if you wanted to, you could meet 100 single people in a month. Online dating is. I never did it, and I'm actually quite happy that I didn't. But it's a whole different world here.
Yeah.
Like, isn't it extraordinary? You can meet like hundreds of people that are potentially interested in you in a month. Whereas I think between the three of us, we maybe met 10 in
a year.
In years. Yeah.
What I find interesting with online dating is, I think originally it started as just a way to hook up with people.
Like as in casual.
Casual, like literally just one night stands. But now, from what I know, I think it's changed quite a lot, and people are meeting soul partners.
Looking for connections.
Yeah, looking for actual connections. It's no more just a hookup spot.
Yeah.
But it's changed the world a lot. I mean, you know, so people going to bars and stuff now to talk to the opposite sex and to find your partner. You just click a button on your phone and you're like, oh, that person looks good. Cool, let's go, you know, I'm in.
I have asked some ladies in England, or people that I know, that how would you feel if a guy just approached you like, hey, how are you? You're beautiful. And they told me they'd be freaked out. Like, why is this weirdo approaching me?
Yeah, interesting,
What are you supposed to do then?
Yeah, that's interesting.
So they're like, no, well, why would this weirdo just come?
But one could argue that being able to like swipe right or whatever, swipe left, I don't really know which way you swipe. But anyway, whatever it means when you match with somebody,
good answer,
that kind
by
of
the way.
gets rid of the thank you. It gets rid of the stress of are they going to be keen or not, for a potential thing. But then you can go on a first date, for example, and you know that there is some form of interest. So in some ways, it makes meeting people slightly easier, I think. I
guess you're assuring yourself that both parties
because you know that they're kind of interested.
Yeah,
I mean, you've had a conversation online, you might have texted, and all of a sudden.
What if they just swiped for 400 people interested?
I don't
in
think
it?
women do that though. I think
Oh,
they're
it's
more
mainly
selective. I
probably
think
the
the men are more like, yes. But the women have to be a bit more discerning. I can imagine. I mean, I must talk to people that have done this more. I don't know much about it.
I did it. That's how I found my girlfriend.
Oh, was it?
Yeah. There's a great app that lets you set your location to a different country.
So were you online dating here from Bots?
Yeah.
No way.
I was never going to date someone in Botswana. Probably related to them.
How did she? I can't like this. Your
So you had the whole-
girlfriend's amazing. How
That's
she agreed to that?
that's a scamming also. you're thousands of kilometers away.
Did you tell her that you were in Botswana?
I had nothing
Or
else
did
to
you just
like.
pretend you were here in the UK?
No, that's the coolest thing about my life is that I live in the bush. It's the only thing I could really. It was my
That
selling
was
point.
your selling point, your USP. Sure.
Yeah.
How's that, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
too.
Producer Mark,
yeah,
same
Mark
thing,
did as
eh?
well.
Yeah. I was in the bush.
No
and
way.
I was messaging girls back in the UK.
With your location here.
Yeah.
Messaging
Wow.
girls.
Yeah. It worked
That's
for me.
wild, eh?
Yeah.
Sure.
And we're still together.
Well, my girlfriend found it really weird because the first time we started chatting, I sent her a message like, oh yeah, by the way, I'm not going to be able to talk to you for 3 days. I'm going off into the bush. And she's like, that's fucking weird. Tell me that. Like, why are you telling me that? Like, okay, cool for
Yeah,
you.
then
Yeah.
no other
Yeah, she's like,
relationship had that.
okay, sweet, bye. Like, cheers. But like, eventually she understood what I was meaning by that, and she came out and visited me there and like understood it. But it was, from her perspective, it was very weird.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Like, didn't understand what I was on about. Thought I was a little bit crazy. Still am. Probably figured out that I was actually just senile. It's been difficult.
So they say that that a little bit of separation makes the heart grow fonder. You know, it's like when you're away from each other, those moments that you have together, or even just those conversations, mean that much more.
Yeah.
But then we've lived in that space where you've been very much loving every opportunity, because your opportunities to converse and spend time with each
You
other are so
appreciate it
few
a
and
lot
far
more.
between. You appreciate it a lot more. But now, interestingly, all three of us now in the UK have had a much more prolonged period with our
Yeah.
partners. It's a different thing, actually living with our partners for a prolonged period, as opposed to little bits of rare gold that we've had.
Yeah.
Now it's become a bit more consistent. Has it been an adjustment?
I mean, well, it's been a nice adjustment that
Yeah.
instead of you're able to talk to someone, well, I've always been able to talk to someone, well, almost every day, but now you're
Sleeping
actually,
in a bed.
hey,
Sleeping in a bed. Quite nice.
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah.
That is nice.
yeah, you're able to stay warm now. yeah. But it's been great. I mean, you get to realize people's mannerisms, how they respond to
Yeah.
things, and also it can be difficult sometimes reading things over text
You're
not
Yeah.
sure because there's no tone.
Yeah.
So you don't really know what someone's saying.
Yeah.
I mean, and that can go with anyone that you're talking to. It's,
Well, how did you two find it? Because you both met your partners on shoot.
Yeah.
And it's like for our listeners, it was, as an outsider it was quite entertaining because they're trying to hide it, but you kind of know that's something like that they're quite
And we're
interested.
trying to stay professional.
Just trying to stay professional while not being professional is quite an entertaining. It's like a soap opera. It's hilarious. But like, how did you guys find that? 'Cause
well, they
it was-
had khaki fever.
There you go. They did it. Khaki Fever. Khaki Fever. Where do we start on that? So there's quite an infamous affliction that often hits, I think, young women and young men in the bush in Africa, and it often involves going into a wild space where you don't know anything about the place.
You're
and the
dependent on
space.
someone, basically.
And there's somebody else who's showing you the world, this new world, and they are proficient or acting proficient and telling you great stories and being very charismatic. Often it's guides
helicopter pilots.
and helicopter pilots and that whole crew. And then there's a certain yearning that gets into the heart of a young.
Yeah.
Typically, it's a woman, as the story goes, but it can be anyone, I guess. And that's the term. It's termed khaki fever.
Yeah.
That can afflict you. So anyway, yes,
It comes from the color of the clothing that those
Yes.
gentlemen would wear.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. So
Yeah.
khaki guiding attire normally
Yeah.
would be khaki or green or something. So yeah, that's where it comes from. So yeah, our partners got Khaki Fever.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do get
Thank God for Khaki Fever.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we
It's
would-
literally the only thing
didn't
we
have
had
to do
going
much.
for us. Rugged bushmen who smell terrible.
yeah, but we were also very. I mean, we saved the day in some sense because for my experience, it was quite interesting. We created a lot of potentially dangerous situations and then saved the day without them realizing. Like the big fire that we had. Like we created there was a scenario where there was actual potential danger, but then went in and got to be the hero in some way.
Yeah, I think was it Greg chasing an elephant out of camp?
Yeah.
It does something.
Yeah, definitely helped.
Oh, yeah, that's a man.
on the search for romance.
Greg's like
But then
chasing that elephant, like, yes, come on.
We had to be very professional because we were working together very closely as a team in a remote location. And if it didn't go well, like
Yeah.
let's say your advances were not appreciated, then you could
Then
make
it's
it
sexual
very
harassment.
awkward. So then it's either sexual harassment or you've now got to continue working together
Yeah.
for months in close proximity. And there's no going into,
You can't just-
sorry, I
yeah.
won't see you again, because you're going to see each other every day. So
Yeah.
it was a risk. You couldn't just...
You got to be very certain about. You got to be you just got to be very respectful.
Yeah,
Which I think is a good
fortunately
thing.
for me, my wife made the first move, so I didn't have to worry. so
Yeah,
much
no,
about
she
that.
abducted Greg. Greg didn't have a choice in that matter. Greg's wife is she's a very strong woman.
She's a force.
Yeah,
Force
she's
of
a force
nature.
to be reckoned with.
Yeah.
It was in. I loved watching it happen. Like, I mean, I had an outside perspective to both of your guys, like relationships forming, and it was funny because you'd ask Greg or Rea, like, so what is it that nothing's happening.
Yo, no, we're very professional.
Very, very
I tried to
professional.
keep
You
it
guys
under
were very
wraps for a long
professional.
time.
Yeah, well, I think we had to. We were on an international shoot.
Yeah. No, you guys handled it very well. Like, I mean,
Thank you.
to some degree.
I mean, if it was just in Botswana, no one would give a shit. You'd
Yeah.
even just be in public. It's like, yeah, hooking up with my coworker. But it seems in the Western world that you don't really do that in
Unprofessional.
public.
Yeah, you don't.
Yeah, it's considered unprofessional.
I wouldn't hook up in public either, to be honest.
Well,
Or make it public that
No.
you're
Yeah.
having a relationship with somebody that's in a professional.
But it's like when you have your girlfriend in a car and you just drive straight up to a line or something and you park them right next to it and you kind of like
There's a power thing there, which is quite interesting.
I think my favorite thing doing that, actually, to anyone who's in my vehicle, is to see how shit scared they get. And then that's what motivated me to be like, yeah, get them closer next time.
Shame, you're just busy making everyone scared. Oh gosh, I can imagine that there were a few very, very nervous souls, because I've seen how you have learned how to approach animals very carefully, where they don't even react. Like, I've seen you get close to lions where the lions don't even look at you.
Yeah,
And now
yeah.
all of a sudden you're putting the passenger side of the car right
on the
next to
other
those
side,
lions. Oh, boy.
But there's a magicness of the bush, and like it's so special. And I think that also that was what helped me a lot. I think with my relationship,
Hugely.
it's such you're giving someone experiences that they couldn't find anywhere else.
Yeah.
And it's they kind of attach that to you, which is
Khaki Fever, dude.
Khaki Fever. Yeah.
It's a legit thing.
It is a legit thing.
Nature brings the best out of us as well, because you become so much more connected with yourself as
Yeah.
well, and you're not distracted. Like, we used to have conversations with our partners. I mean, when you're stuck in a vehicle, just you and somebody else for days with no distraction,
Yeah.
you really get into some amazing conversations. Whereas nowadays,
It's true,
It's
yeah.
very hard to do that, because it's
Yeah.
you'll have a few sentences, then all of a sudden one of you has been distracted by something else, and you can watch TV together, or you can do something that doesn't involve deep, meaningful conversations. Whereas we had to have deep, meaningful
Yeah.
conversations. Otherwise, you would just sit awkwardly together for the whole day.
You learn a lot about each other. Like
Yeah.
there's no privacy. You want to take a
No.
shit, you got to tell your part. You got to tell Tristan.
Yeah.
My girlfriend and we became very close very quickly.
Oh, no, shame.
It was even like at night, like, and she'll hate me for telling these stories. But like, it's nighttime. It's pitch black. There's no lights. There's no, you get torches in your car. And you've been driving around the whole day seeing elephants and lions and leopards. And she's like, well, I need the bathroom now. And I'm like, okay, cool. She's like, can we go somewhere? Nope. You're going to have to do it right
In
next
the
to the
bush.
car.
Yeah,
We'll drive away
yeah.
afterwards, but you're going to have to do
Did
it
you
there.
make her go right next to the car?
It's nighttime.
Oh,
Yeah.
of course.
Like, what is she? I'm not going to tell
That's
her. I'm not saying, walk 20 meters that way and park yourself behind that termite mound. No, you went right there. But it's
nighttime, you
like,
gotta
but
be
you get
stupid.
close. Like, and it's not the nicest way, but you rely on each other, and there's a certain way that you get to know each other a lot more than you would, I think, here.
Your
Quickly.
boundaries get broken
Very
down
quickly.
pretty
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
But Shane, there were lots of folks who like the idea of just going to the bathroom right in the middle of nowhere, or right next to the car, or behind the car, or behind a termite mound with, wild animals all around.
They didn't
Some
like
of the crew found that really hard,
Yeah.
and I mean, I can't blame them. I mean, the sense of privacy kind of goes out the window.
I mean,
in
even
some sense.
people we filmed with who would just not refuse. They would
Yeah,
not do it. They're like,
They'd hold it the whole day.
yeah,
They'll just be
yeah.
uncomfortable
They're
the
just
whole
like,
day.
nope, I'll take a shit in camp. I'm not doing this.
Yeah, I was my bushcock's my favorite thing in the world.
Absolute favorite.
When it was like when I knew there was no one around, go find a nice big termite mound.
Yeah.
Go
I
perch
don't
on the
know
top of the
details,
termite
like a
mound
daddy
and
baboon.
scan.
I once went looking up to a termite mound to go and find a good position, and there was a flippin' lacquer big rock python hiding in the termite mound. And I went around the corner, and I was like, goodness me. Luckily, I checked, because often we used to just take it for granted. You just go around the termite mound and do your business. But we were so lucky in some sense that there wasn't just a leopard sitting on the opposite of the
what
termite
you
mound.
should be doing is, before you go to the termite
Drive
mound,
around.
drive around the termite mound,
Yeah.
inspect, okay, nothing. Because that's what you do if you're with guests and you're
Yeah,
guiding.
yeah.
Didn't do that with myself. Just parked
Yeah,
the
we
car,
were
climbed
quite
up,
chill.
and I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
But the most intense thing as well is, I mean, I don't want to know if we need to get into our toilet business too much, but I think one of the most, disposing of making sure that you left the zone as it looked before you left was one of the toughest things. So you could either do some digging, or you could
burn your toilet paper.
burning toilet paper created more of a flippin' mad, stressful adrenaline rush than it should have for
You have to be very
for me.
specific when you did your
Burn down
business.
you got to be careful. Burn down the
You've
whole
said it.
bush.
You've nearly set a fire.
I used my fire extinguisher once.
Use it.
I ran for my fire extinguisher. I almost burned down the bush. But anyway, that's maybe too much detail for all of our listeners.
yeah.
Yeah, there's all sorts of things that happen in the bush that you don't actually really think about.
Yeah,
Like it's just a different way of life, really.
it's just the way it was. We had no choices.
But it's so nice and free. I loved it, man. Like, take me back. Go sit there.
Oh, hopefully soon. I mean, you guys are hopefully going to be in the bush in the next month, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, a couple of weeks will be out. Yeah.
Sure.
Khaki Fever did Greg and I pretty good, but Trist, you've been having other fevers.
Yeah, I brought a lovely virus into camp called COVID once.
You
Just
were
as-
patient zero. You were the first one.
Yeah.
At the beginning of the shoot.
And the
as well.
first person you gave COVID was me.
The only person.
The only person you gave COVID to was me.
Yeah.
Knocked us out for a week.
That was bad. We'd doing a shoot with Mark, and it was two filming blocks, and in the interim I'd gone and done another shoot and come back. And first day I got back into camp, everybody comes out, give everyone a big hug. Obviously gave Greg maybe a little
biggest
smooch as well. But got back, basically I think the next morning I went out to go film, parked myself off for the evening, and it was probably I fully debated driving back into camp that evening. I couldn't sleep. I was mad, crazy fever, and you don't want to. I find it embarrassing when you're like, oh, I've got to go back to camp, because no one wants to not be doing their job. I remember getting back. I drove into camp straight away in the morning, and I was like, guys, I don't feel well.
Yeah.
And immediately production COVID tested me, got given a load of drugs, and they're like, you have COVID.
Yeah.
And then I was locked in my room for
You
2
were
weeks.
cabin fevered as well after that.
Yeah, it was horrible.
Stuck in your room.
No, it's not stinking hot. Yeah, it's everyone else around you's having fun, but also everyone's now scared of you. Like, no one would come near me.
Yeah.
It's like isolated in an already isolated environment.
We didn't have our medical situation out there was quite interesting in hindsight. Like, we didn't have a doctor readily available. We had the emergency helicopter in case it was really bad.
Yeah.
But other than that, it was kind of like you shrugged it off much of the way. We had a very rudimentary first aid kit until the folks
Just
from the
painkillers.
UK came to join us, and then they brought all the medicine and all the stuff. Like,
It was treat day, man.
They
It was so
upgraded
good.
our safety standards.
Yeah.
hugely.
Yeah, it was different. Yeah, but I mean, also we didn't really get sick that often, I would say. I mean, stomach problems were probably the biggest.
Yeah, digestive issues. I mean, I think that we probably got a bit more than we realized, though.
Maybe.
Like, I definitely got bilharzia.
Yeah, you've got tested recently, didn't you?
Yeah, and that stuff can be hectic, and a lot of it just goes under the radar. Like you don't really think about it; it's not obvious. Bilharzia is a very interesting parasitic disease.
Super
actually.
interesting.
No, it is. It's fascinating. So it's a life cycle of a worm, and the worm basically it lives in snails as in the early life stage, and then it becomes free swimming in water. So it can be running water or it can be stagnant water. And if you go swimming as a person, the little worm can burrow into you, and then they reproduce inside your body. And then the whole life cycle continues. When you urinate, the eggs will come out into the water again, and then the whole thing starts again.
Isn't it something they affect your livers also? Is it or?
Well, so when they're in your body, this is what really scared me for a bit. Is the little worms themselves will mainly go for your liver and your bladder.
Yeah.
But the eggs can proliferate through your body, in your bloodstream and in your lymphatic system, and they can find themselves to all sorts of part of your body, and then your immune system starts going after the eggs and creates a lot of inflammation. So you can have real problems in your brain and your spine and all sorts of things. So it can lead to a wide variety of things. I spoke to my great aunt. She's 96, and she has a theory, and she reckons that a lot of what folks in Africa struggle with health-wise is caused by undiagnosed bilharzia.
Undiagnosed bilharzia, yeah.
Wouldn't surprise me.
Because it's I'm saying I had it. It's hard to get rid of. I might still have it. I don't know.
Do you want to know how many people have it currently?
Yeah, I bet you it's loads. Hundreds of millions.
250 million people currently live infected worldwide. That's worldwide.
150 million.
That's wild.
700 to 800 million people live at risk of infection, and 90% of cases occur in sub-Saharan Africa.
There you go. So it's a big deal.
Yeah. I mean, I should probably, we should all.
We should probably get tested.
Yeah, I should probably
Yeah,
get
I
tested.
think
But I mean,
about
I
it.
swim so often in stagnant water in the river.
Yeah.
No, I mean, when we were young, I don't know about you guys, we were always swimming in the dams and the rivers and lakes, and it was like, cool, this is a great time.
The funny I think I've built quite the immune to most of these tropical diseases now, because when I was
Rea's immune to malaria, guys, by the way.
I really believe it. And
You think you're immune? Do you have
I've
sickle
had-
cell anemia?
No, I don't think so. But I've had malaria when I was a child about 5-6 times. I used to get it every single year.
Really?
I got malaria. I've seen the progress in technology from malaria, because the first time I got malaria, they take your blood. It was sent to a lab. You wait a few days. Then it comes back, oh, positive, took the medication. And that's how the first few times I got malaria. And then I progressed. I saw the technology before my eyes. The next time I remember going to the hospital, I was like, oh no, just prick your finger here, put it into this. And it wasn't as instant as it is now. It would still take a couple of minutes. You wait, and then it'll tell you you're positive for malaria. And then if you do the malaria test now, it is almost completely instant.
Instant test.
And the good thing is, though, each time, as long as you have access to malaria, it's no problem. The biggest problem comes when you don't have access to the medication.
Yeah.
But every time when I tested positive, immediately the medication is
meds.
given to me. Yeah. That's why I remember I talked to some guests of mine who are doctors, and they said, yeah, it's very easy. You could be immune by now. You've built it up. You've had it so many times that.
Amazing.
That's crazy.
I've never had malaria.
You've never.
No.
Yeah, there used to be an epidemic in Maun of malaria.
Yeah. But the thing is, if you're in a very remote place, it's very hard to get malaria because it needs to go from a human into a mosquito and then back into a human. But in where we were working in the bush, it's very unusual for that to happen because there was just no humans.
Yeah. Have you guys had any other? I've had tick bite fever also.
Have you had tick bite?
Yeah, I've had
that
tick bite.
stuff's apparently quite hard.
Ooh, tick bite fever is terrible. Ooh, that's when I properly discovered what loss of breath is. If you read something, loss of breath, you think, oh, come on, man, just breathe. No. The first time, because I didn't know what I had, and I was sleeping, and I actually thought someone was choking me.
Oh no!
I ran out of the room. You can't breathe at all. I ran out of the room because I thought the air had been sucked out of this room. Go in the next room, still, and then suddenly you can just breathe again.
That's wild.
Yeah. Loss of breath, tick bite fever.
Pretty hectic. I've heard,
Not fun at all. Not fun.
Botswana's not that bad for those kind of infections.
No, we don't have many tropical diseases. Through the Congo and Central African Republic
Yeah,
and,
no,
and
it's
like the rainforest,
terrifying.
that's where it's a bit more hectic. Ebola. And
I always find it really interesting because whenever I tell people where I'm from, they're like, "Ooh, deepest, darkest Africa." I'm like, hell no, man. Go check the Congo. Like, even that's like the level up. Like, even when I hear people going to the Congo, I'm like, oh shit, you went to Africa. Like, you went deep into the rainforest.
But I mean, also, we used to have sleeping sickness, but it was eliminated.
tsetse
with
flies,
tsetse
yeah.
flies. So that was there.
So the interesting thing about tsetse flies is if you look at all of the protected areas in Africa, almost all of them exist in areas that are tsetse fly hotspots.
Yeah.
So low-lying river valleys. So look at Southern Africa and look at all the protected areas, all the national parks, low-lying river valleys. And the reason being is because
Couldn't get colonized.
and tribally as well, because cattle is such a big thing for the people of Africa. You couldn't settle there with cattle because the tsetse flies would transmit the diseases that would kill cattle. So that, like, in some ways, tsetse flies saved Africa's wildlife.
Conservation,
It would have all been cattle everywhere if it wasn't for that fly and the diseases.
So I'm quite happy at Bots. Like, it's not that bad compared to other places. It's nice. I don't feel scared.
It's dry.
I mean, even
enough,
I laugh and like friends. I mean, when productions come out to us, and everybody's on these bloody anti-malarials and this and this and this, and it's like, then someone goes like, "Yeah, what malarials do you take?" None. I don't take any anti-malaria stuff. We live out there. If you get it, you get it. You deal with it.
Oh, we haven't got it. I've lived there for 30 years. I never had it.
The thing is also I was talking to someone, and the problem is if they go to their doctor and say, "Hey, what should I take?" If the doctor says, "No, you're fine. You don't need anti-malarial," and then they get malaria,
The doctor's
doctor's in trouble.
Yeah.
So they get prescribed these stuff even when we're not having a epidemic of malaria or anything. So it's just a cautionary thing, which is always prescribed. But there's been no malaria. The outbreaks happen. But like even in Bots, you'll know when there's a malaria outbreak because the government announces it and like, hey, the cases have increased in the hospital.
Yeah.
I find it. I've had some friends that come out. One of my friends came out recently, and he didn't consult me about any vaccines or anything. I mean, most people do, and I always think it's a bit like ridiculous. Anyways, my friend didn't. He ended up getting like 6 different jabs. You got yellow fever, dengue fever, some other.
Come to
Botswana. I was like,
we don't even have.
We don't have any of those. You're fine. Rocked up with like 150 pounds worth of anti-malaria stuff. I was like, you can buy that here. Cheap. We sell that here. We know it's a problem.
It's funny, just like how people come from a country with no malaria, buy the malaria tests here, which are definitely going to be overpriced because they don't sell in volume. Instead of just buying it locally, where we've already got so many of these malaria tests probably produced locally.
We do run the risk, especially where we work. I mean, it's so remote. Like, if something does happen, it can be very, very dangerous. I mean, we do have access to like an emergency response thing. There's a company that you pay a certain amount, and they, in case of emergency, you call them. They'll send a helicopter to come pick you up, and you put on life support and everything. But helicopters can only fly during the daytime.
Yeah. You'd have to drive to Maun if it's a big problem, like 4-hour drive back to Maun.
But that's from where we filmed. In other locations, you can't. It's impossible to drive back. If something happens in the night or late evening, that's it. You're screwed till the
It was like, wasn't it when old Beverly Joubert, the filmmaker, got horned by a buffalo in their camp in the Delta, and that was at night, and they couldn't take her to medical help until dawn. So she had to kind of survive through the night, having been gored by a buffalo.
Hectic.
I mean, there's crazy stories. We've seen that same helicopter. It's a big red helicopter.
Yeah, the medical rescue one.
Yeah, and you see that thing fly over, and it's weird. Like, we get a lot of air traffic from people being transported to camps and stuff. Whenever I see that helicopter, I just kind of like take a minute. I'm like,
yeah,
it's not a great sign. And there's problems.
But you know what? I think most of it is. It's tourists getting dehydrated.
Yeah.
Heat stroke. Like that's the most often the medical evacuations because of that. But like for us, we're all first aid trained. And the guides amongst us, Rea and myself in particular, we've had a few experiences helping guests deal with like things like that. And I know how to patch you up, Trist. We've jabbed Rea because of his allergies. Like, we can help each other out a bit.
Yeah, we're resourceful. I think it's like anything. You learn to deal with the circumstances that you're given.
Just like mechanics, bush mechanics. We learn bush medical aid now.
Bush nurses.
Bush health. Yeah.
If you give us a spanner, we can definitely fix any problems with your system.
Use it as a splint. Between the two of us, Rea and myself, who would you want to treat you?
Well, I don't know. Actually, no. I changed my mind. I've seen you trying to help people. Greg's very by the book, you know.
Yeah, well, the rules exist for a reason.
Yeah, no, I don't disagree.
So what, you want your doctor to just do what he thinks?
Do you know what Greg will follow
randomly?
from the first aid? When you're there dying on the floor, Trist, Greg will come ask, tap. Remember they said you tap twice on the shoulder.
Are you all
Are
right?
you okay?
Are you okay? Are you
My
okay?
legs half off. Greg, are you all right? No.
Check for other hazards.
May I please have permission to help you?
Yeah, I don't know. To be honest, I mean, the only time I think one of you would actually ever need to we'd ever need to help each other is when something's seriously gone wrong. And at that point, I'm not going to be very fussy. Like, I think I'm going to
whoever
you
gets there first.
just help me. Like, just do something and help me.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, you know, most of our time is spent in the car by ourselves, and our safety precaution is a radio. And it is you just tell someone, and you hope you can tell them quick enough where you are and how to get there that you're fine. Luckily, we've never, apart from you getting stung sometimes, we've never really had any massive major incidents.
Yeah, touch wood.
You know, but you do. I think it's because you're so aware of how the situation that you're in. You make sure you're fine, and you keep. You know, if you get stung, we've stories of people getting stung by a scorpion, and you tell someone what's happening. You know, if something's happened in the day, and you're not super sure what's going to happen in the evening, you don't know if you're going to be all right, or, you know, you got stung by something and you're not sure what's going to happen, sleep next to somebody that evening. You know, you make sure you've got to
look after each other.
I mean, what I also believe, like, sometimes there were some people getting stung by scorpions. Sorry, but you were not following rules. When you go into your room or something, it's same as a tent. Always close it. And it's those periods people think, I've just stepped outside. I'm just going to the loo. I come back. No, you close it every single time. Same as a tent. You step outside, zip it closed.
Yeah.
You go in immediately. It always has to be shut. Not where you do a little walk. It's only 30 seconds. That's all a snake needs to get in your tent.
My favorite is my people in their shoes, man. Go camping with my brother and his friends. Wake up the first morning, everyone's shoes are just lying on the floor. And I'm like, okay, Oaks, rule number one, we're setting this up properly. Shoes, you put your shoes in the car or you put the shoes in your tent. Because first off, you might have a scorpion or a snake or something living in your shoe in the morning. Secondly, hyena's going to come through and nick that shoe.
How many shoes have you been stolen by hyenas?
I've lost at least 7 pairs.
I've
lost so many. Always one flip-flop. Sometimes you find it months later. You get excited. Guys, I found a shoe. Whose shoe is this?
Oh, gosh. Hyenas, man.
Yeah. Oh, life's difficult out there, but life's difficult in the UK as well.
Yeah, the different challenges.
Yeah, different.
But here, NHS don't have to pay for healthcare, which is wild.
Yeah, no, you don't.
Don't
Yeah,
get that.
we have to pay for our own medical insurance.
Yeah.
Everybody has to. You run a massive risk if you don't have medical insurance.
Yeah.
And
I mean, but healthcare is free in Botswana also.
yeah, well,
If you're willing to risk going to some of the hospitals, but I think we'll have to get into that on another episode.
yeah. Anyways, thank you very much for listening to us.
Yeah,
It's
that's been
been
great.
wildly off track.
Yeah.
Cheers, guys.
Catch you in the next one.